So there's a recent controversy about Quentin Tarantino calling Paul Dano a terrible actor. My first thought is this is like the ugly shaming the uglier. So let's deal with that, the ugly factor. Paul Dano is a rather homely looking person. He's not exactly a Brad Pitt looking guy. Um, he's an average looking guy. Most of us are average looking. I'm average looking. Tarantino is an abnormally, strikingly ugly person. Like he's like you're shocked when you first see him by how ugly he is. He's got this protruding chin. He's got this huge forehead. He's got these tiny little squinty eyes. He's got a hook nose. He's got like everything wrong with his face. So let's just start with who's better looking. I mean, because acting, I guess it's based on looks, Hollywood acting, right? In terms of good acting, because Tarantino claims this guy's did the worst acting ever in There Will Be Blood. I don't know anything about acting. I think I'm autistic when it comes to acting. I can never tell if somebody's a good actor or not a good actor. My only rule of thumb is if I don't like them, then they probably did a bad acting job. I remember him in There Will Be Blood. I hated that movie. I didn't find him annoying. He played an innocent victim of the protagonist, and he did a good job at that. I saw him in The Batman, and I thought he did a fine job. I don't think he did a great job. Like, I don't care. Maybe he did a great job. He certainly didn't do a bad job. And then I saw him first in Swiss Army Man, he did that with Harry Potter actor Daniel Radcliffe. He was the star of that movie, and I thought he did a good job. I don't know about good or great. Again, I don't know about great acting. He carried the movie. It was a really good movie. Oh, Quentin Tarantino also insulted an actor named Eddie Izzard. Said that he was a terrible actor too. Nobody knows who Eddie Izzard is, including myself. He played Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. That's how unremarkable he is. He was in Scream. One commenter said that Tarantino's really like hitting below the belt. Like, why do you need to insult these actors who are not even heavyweights anyways? Well, to me, that's just further proof of what I've always said, is that he's a wannabe bully, as is shown in all of his movies. All of his movies are about bullying people. Tarantino movies are revenge movies, yes. They're also like the nerd bully. Like, I'm going to be a bully, and I'm going to make an excuse for being a bully by saying, hey, look, it's a minority getting revenge against the oppressor. So then it's okay for them to be a bully. Like, I found a loophole so that I can make movies all about bullying. Now, I don't really have an issue with Quentin Tarantino saying that Paul Dano's a terrible actor or whatever. However, Quentin Tarantino isn't exactly like an acting critic or theorist or actor himself. He's a terrible actor. He's a much worse actor. He tried to be an actor. He wishes he wanted to be Paul Dano, and he failed. Back in the day, he tried to be an actor. He would have rather been an actor than a director. That's what I believe. He just realized he was too ugly. I mean, too ugly. He put himself in, Reservoir Dogs. He put himself in Pulp Fiction. He put himself in I think it's called Four Rooms, the movie about the hotel that he made. He put himself in this movie called Destiny Turns on the Radio. I watched all of that. He put himself in Till Dusk Till Dawn. And then I think he finally realized, like, nobody likes my face. I think he came to terms with being ugly as hell, which we all have to come to terms with, right? There was a time when I thought I was a supermodel when I was like 16. So his acting life story, he's the story of a failed actor. So for him to bitch about somebody else's acting is kind of out of his line, like it's not his laneway. Furthermore, he hasn't even established himself as a film critic. I mean, it's one thing if you want to comment on movies. It's another thing to say this movie sucks. Then you're actually engaging in film criticism. And as a respected film director, he shouldn't be doing that unless he's going to do it responsibly. I'm just doing a stupid YouTube channel. If I had the opportunity to be making movies like Quentin has, I wouldn't be making videos about all the movies that suck. But finally, you know what? Okay, so Paul Dano, let's take it that he's a terrible actor. Okay, well, you're worse than he is as an actor. And you're also a terrible filmmaker because I have yet to hear any explanation for how his movies are good, aside from Pulp Fiction. Aside from True Romance, like the first things that he did. Everything he's done post Pulp Fiction has been garbage. Forgettable garbage. And further ironic is that he's making fun of Paul Dano's performance in a movie that I think sucks called There Will Be Blood. I did a whole video about Paul Thomas Anderson, I think that's what his name is, and why his movies are just terrible. So it's just really funny to me. We got a shitty filmmaker calling an acting job shitty in a movie that was shitty. And to anybody who's shocked at how mean that was of Quentin Tarantino, what planet are you living on? He has always been a bully, a wannabe bully. He's a nerd bully. All You couldn't tell that by seeing all of his movies about a nerd getting revenge. All he makes are Revenge of the Nerds movies. That's right. He's a middle-aged man who just makes movies about people getting revenge in a cool way. So you tell me, is he not the opposite of a hidden gem?